Okay, so what are we doing here? Got this so-called stainless measuring cup. It's 1 cup. Not very stainless. Made in China. It'll work. What we're doing here. What this is, these are bismuth pellets. Originally this weighed 250 grams. I've used a couple of these pellets, so they're somewhat less than 250 grams here. Bismuth is a heavy metal, but it is one that is not particularly toxic. Indeed, if you've ever taken a dose of Pepto-Bismol, the Bismol is the bismuth part of that. So, not something I'm terribly worried about cooking in the kitchen. It has a very, I'd say fairly low melt point. What was it, 520, just above 520 degrees Fahrenheit to melt this. So, it actually has a lower melting point than solder would, certainly lower than lead, and I will not melt lead on my kitchen stove here, but I will melt bismuth. The point of this is to cast 2 1-inch diameter slugs of it, about a ½ inch thick. Reasons for wanting to make these we'll get into soon enough, I think. So, step 1, melt some of this. I'm not going to use any sort of flux. It does not matter here. I might scrape off some slag if it shows, which it likely will. I've got a wooden stick here, it's an oak stick, to pull off any slag that may show up. I doubt there will be much. As I said, I'm not going to use flux. If I were going to use flux, for the temperatures involved here, it would probably be activated rosin rather than borax, which seems to like a higher temperature. So, how much of this is it going to take to cast these 2, let's call them ingots? Well, I notice 3 of these fit fairly well down into each one of these. But that wouldn't quite do it, so I think 2 more per casting. So that's 5 per casting, and so that will be 10 nuggets of this size. There's 5 in there, and add 5 more. I'm going to turn all these flat side down just to maybe make them melt more readily. Bismuth is fairly heavy. Now on with the heat. Oops, might help to turn the right burner on. Now I'm going to go with this amount and with this size cup. It's called that medium heat, gas heat, and let that sit a while until it begins to melt. For now, I'm going to suspend the vid until something begins to happen. Okay, so it's only been, maybe about a minute or so, and already these are beginning to melt. Yep. Yeah, it's plenty hot in there. It's interesting, this bismuth, as soon as it oxidizes, it displays a rainbow color sort of thing. It's interesting. And I've seen videos of people where they produce very, very beautiful crystals out of this stuff. Certain sort of controlled heating and cooling can do that. In a lab environment, much better than in your kitchen stove. So it's melting. Or they are melting. And geez whiz, it won't be very long at all. We'll be ready to pour this into this wood. Now, the temperature of this is, as I said, 520 Fahrenheit or so. It's fully melted. I'm gonna dial this back a little bit, just to keep it toasty. Might be worthwhile. I think it will. I'm gonna pull the camera off and just to have a look. I don't know if that's going to show up very well, but I'm sorry about that. Daggone strap. You kind of see how this is. There's some slag in there, oxidized metal. I'm not too worried about that. It's very pretty. Blue, pink, red in there. My apologies. Alright, so where I'm interested in right now, maybe I'll pick out some of this slag. Nice, clean looking metal. The slag tends to stick a little bit, so I'm going to go ahead and pour this. One in there, and then, yeah, as it turns out, I need more. And so more we will put. I don't know of anything that shrinks when you heat it, but who knows. That was 10 pellets just to fill that one. Okay. I can smell wood cooking. It's not a problem. Let's see. 3, 4, 5, 6. Eight and 10. And any of this that's not cast is certainly reusable. Hey, it leaves me with 4 pellets left. Oh well. Moo. I do love the smell of cooked wood in the afternoon. So that's cooling off, and this is heating. Let's put the heat up a little bit. Let that cook a little, and let that cool. We'll be right back. Okay. Second melt. It did splash some, which is no issue here. As I said, this stuff is a low melt point. We'll recycle that. And I'm going to go ahead and pour this try to make it volume-wise similar to the first pour. Yeah, there it is. And what's in here? I'll just add this, that which I slopped out of there, and what that, nope. In fact, I think I'll pick out some of this other that I spilled. See how that worked. Put that in. This is a fairly non-toxic metal. It's not going to hurt you in small quantities if ingested. But do be careful. I mean, it is hot enough to burn you. I'm going to let that cool and pick it out of there, which will be no trouble. And let these cool. Still quite hot, this one. Woo! Not going to touch that, I just poured it. There will be some shrinkage. Shrinkage. It happens as these cool, and the top parts of these will most likely be ground to a somewhat spherical surface. Reasons for we'll get into in other videos. It's an interesting property that this material has, this bismuth has. It's diamagnetic. In the meantime, maybe look that up. Might develop some interest in such as this. Especially nowadays with these neodymium magnets. Yeah, you'll see later, hopefully, why it is I made these two castings to you.